Alright, my Kubota tractor, I've done a few things to kind of get ready for this storm that's supposed to be coming tomorrow of 2026. Other than checking the oil, air filter, I keep a one of these just plastic cardboard in here that just kind of helps it stay warm. If I don't put that in there, it'll barely get warm and stay like at 1 or 2 bars even when I'm running it warm. So I kind of like it. Helps it kind of stay warm at the optimal temperature. I greased all the grease spots. There's one down under here, 2 right there for the brake. And when plowing, it's nice to have this brake open, because then you can hit one brake and you can steer yourself. Works really good. Other than that, just wanted to kind of go over some stuff on how add-ons and extra things that I added to make my life easier or whatever. This right here is just I don't know why they didn't leave room in here, but I just put a little plastic piece there. If you have this that guard is there for the belt, but man, they could have came up with something a little better, and I just, cut a milk jug out and put it there. I already had my heater plug go bad, so I got to replace that in the summertime. I just didn't want to mess with it in the winter. If we go underneath the tractor, this add-on that I did was right here is solid steel, and it goes all the way under, and man, does that work good for more weight. It's really low. I never have an issue getting center of gravity or running over things, because it's just the wheelbase is so short that having that extra weight, I would not plow nowhere near as good as what it does in the winter. I take it off obviously for the summer because you don't need that weight, but the tractor can push even with this this bucket that I made. Yesterday I was pushing wet heavy snow, and I was pushing it because I had the traction. I was pushing it probably 15, 20 feet, 30 feet in front. And it's just amazing the power that this thing has if you got traction. Now, certain conditions, you can't hardly push it all because it's ice. So another thing that I added, which is very, very nice for getting up and down, is this handle. It's I've seen other people do things where they actually put a handle. I like the ball because it spins when you get up and down, and man, I don't know if you've seen me get up and down on this tractor before, but that right there is gonna save an accident, slipping and falling, or it's just heads and tails getting up on. You don't really want to grab a hold of your steering wheel, because if you see that, it that there's knuckles and stuff. Probably in my opinion, this was maybe the second best thing that I did. I don't know, maybe the weight, but this is on all the time. Love it. Another thing I see a lot of people do is put a brush guard on here, and I did the same thing with this model. This can come in and out, and you can see I have hit something here, but I didn't want to weld anything on to this. I've seen a lot of people weld stuff. I just didn't want to do it in case it got bent, and then then it's kind of hard to take off. And I love welding, but I just wasn't gonna do it. And same thing with this. It's not welded on. This is a separate piece. There's 2 bolts under there that kind of hold it up. And the rest of it is zip tied on. These are just zip ties, and actually this one here broke. I don't know if you can see that. So, you know, I'll just zip tie another one on. I mean, they're cheap. You know, it's kind of forgiving too if you rip something, you know, and this is just zip tied on. I did drill these out, and that kind of stops this from going in as a backstop, because it stopped here and here, didn't in here, but didn't really have anything up here, so I put those in. But you know, if I break it or bend it too much where I don't want it, I just unclip, comes right off, and that's nothing to it. So put a new one on. Let's go to kind of the driver's seat here. My seat, I was having some forearm trouble, and I wanted an armrest, and I felt like I could get more, a little bit feather this just a little bit easier with an armrest. Because you know, it's just a stability point. It'd be like shooting standing up with a gun or shooting sitting down. You know, if you're braced, it's a little more control. So put that armrest in, and I really like that thing. Another thing that I did was put these lights on here, and that was really easy because I just plug them into the cigarette lighter, and that's it. When I turn the key, I'll turn the key for you a second, and it lights it up. It's pretty bright. In the winter plowing, I think that's kind of a mandatory thing, because the lights that they do give you on here, you can't really see much. So you want to be able to see what you're doing. The other thing that I did was had a third function on here installed. I kind of wish I would have went with another one. My dad's tractor has another one, just in case you want to, you know, get a snowblower on the back and do a couple different things, which I think I will get another one if I get a snowblower on the back. I think I'm going to need a snowblower for the new pole barn going in. So this though, it's been a blessing. I wouldn't get a tractor without one. And I think that's kind of all the other modifications that I've done with this tractor. I did have the third function on the front because I do have a grapple, and the grapple is very, very nice, you know, other than you know, taking these hoses and zip tie them in places and whatnot. Haven't really done anything there, so. I did add these boxes. I store a couple chains in here, one in here, and at times. And then I did add this box because I wanted a little bit more room in there. That is one thing that these tractors lack, is a lot of space to put things. I wouldn't mind in the future maybe putting some kind of box or something over on this side, because you can't get up on this side, so we'll see. I might do that in a later video. But this lx2610 SU, the SU is I think special utility or something, like it's a little bit more of an economy tractor. Does not have a mid PTO, which I didn't need. It's just one more thing to kind of go wrong, in my opinion. I wasn't gonna take the bucket off and put a snowblower on the front. Oh, one more thing, if I do get a snowblower for the back, it's not gonna be one you drive backwards. It's gonna be one you drive forward. Then, just in my opinion, it's just, I don't want to be looking back. I just want to drive forward. And from what I've heard, guys say they're really nice. You can leave your bucket on. I can leave my plow on, you know, that quick attach. One other thing that I did do, and I almost forgot to mention this, is I put these plastic things over all the hoses. This came with a hose guard, but any other hose that was exposed to any amount of sunlight, I covered. These aren't too bad, but I might actually go back and cover these up with something. But that plastic guard just protects it from the sun. I don't store this thing out in the sun as it is, but you know, once in a while I park it out and it's out for maybe a couple hours. But you know, I don't like storing anything that has this value of this and can do this much work outside. I wouldn't have one if I had to store it outside, but you know, just that little protection is gonna make those, in my opinion, you know, those poles will probably never rot. And maybe they will, I don't know, but that's a cheap insurance for making it last, you know, I don't know, couple, 3, 4, 5, 6 years longer. So good idea. Other than that, that's kind of the mods and little upgrades and stuff that I did. If you like what you saw here and want to see more of this from time to time, subscribe. It's free. Appreciate all the comments. I will respond to all of them. And thanks for watching Life Practical.